What's up, guys? This is pretty much like every time I watch Fox News and I listen to their rhetoric, this is pretty much how I watch it. And this is how I commentate on how. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. I believe in laws, I believe in things of that nature, but I just feel like Trump says one thing and he just goes back on his word. As far as this marijuana facility is concerned, um, what do we need farmers for that exactly? I mean, sure, why not? Weed is legalized, right? To defend, my Mexicanos familias and people, extended people, family members, and whatever. But here's the thing, guys. I don't think a marijuana facility that's so far away, what's the difference on whether these people are here or not? I mean, especially if it's in California, what difference does it make to you? But let's go ahead. Let's hear the rhetoric of Fox News. They paint the picture of all these bad guys and all this lawlessness and okay, let's go.
A 700% increase in assaults against them, but it's even more than that.
Seven 700% increase, or maybe 700% increase of splitting up families and making it worse for those family members. Of course, they'll leave that out.
The doxing of their family members, their spouses where they work, their children where they go to school, so they're being targeted. If you lay a single hand on a law enforcement officer, you will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law under Secretary Noem and President Trump's leadership. But it's more than that.
And the thing is, too, is like, these crimes that are being committed against these police officers or these ICE agents and things of that nature. Now, I'm not advocating for that because I would rather have those people be safe, vice versa. But at the same time, this is everything that they have. You're taking them away from their children. You're taking away from their jobs. You're splitting them apart. This is like now they have nothing else to lose and they're desperate. And when people are desperate like that, they're dangerous. Not that I'm advocating for this and I'm telling these people that when you're having your family split apart, please be careful. Give ICE agents a wide berth if they're around and you don't so happen to, you know, um, yeah, it's hard for me to say that, it's especially for what I just said right now. But let's see what 690% increase in attacks on ICE agents for Fed agents. For the most part, how do we even know if they're Fed agents? They're masked men. They're abducting people. And then they put them in cars and then they send them to freaking alligator Alcatraz in which poor conditions in which like two people died already from what I know. Let's listen to Rhetoric Fox News.
As well, Maria, because these politicians, whether it be Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, or AOC, continue to vilify our ICE enforcement officers as they just carry out
You
the law and
vilify
try to make
yourselves.
American streets safer.
You
It's
vilify
unbelievable.
yourselves.
ICE agents were fighting off a masked mob outside of a San Francisco immigration court yesterday as Democrats are ramping up their fight to make sure that ICE agents conduct their duties unmasked. Senate Democrats even proposing a bill to do that. So, Tricia, you've got, on the one hand, these mobs trying to take down our ICE agents, but then you've got Democrats seeming to condone it.
Democrats are condoning it. And you know what, Fox News? Look what you guys are condoning. I mean, you guys are condoning people are getting robbed in broad daylight. You guys are deprioritizing. You guys say, oh, you know what we're going to do? We are going to go after the criminals. We are going to go after the gangbangers, the drug dealers, and all this. And so far, what have they been doing? What have they been doing? They've been going after an aunt and Maria. You know what I mean? Or like I saw this video where the ICE agent grabbed this lady's arm and pulled her in and looked at her. If that was my mom and an ICE agent do that, dude, I'd probably sideblind him right in his fucking jaw if he ever grabbed my mom. I don't care if you are law enforcement. I don't care. I don't care, dude. Like you're not gonna grab my mom's arm in front of me like that. Like you're not. I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna tell her, or I'll warn you, dude. Back off, dude. Let go of my mom's arm or my aunt's arm like that. You're not gonna do that. I'm just sorry. Whatever, man. I'll go. There's certain things that'll happen in my life, like if somebody breaks into my house and tries to kill my family, I'm gonna kill you. If somebody attacks my family out in the street, I'm gonna attack you back. You know what I mean? Like, I'll deal with it in court later. You know. Um, okay, let's continue to play the video. I got a little sidetracked on yeah. Let's listen to rhetoric Fox News. Okay.
And keep in mind, Maria, these Homeland Security investigators and our ICE enforcement officers, they're going after the worst, the worst.
No, they're not.
MS-13 gang members, Trende Aragua, highly sophisticated criminal gangs and criminal rings that can easily target.
So this is where I have to pause. So I'm not going to play this whole video, but as you can see, guys, because this video goes on for 6 minutes, I'm not going to play through all of it because I can't play through all. This is when I watch. I can't play through all this shit. Because they say, we're going to go after these, and they haven't. Guys, who have they been going for? Come on. They've been going after they've been going to work sites. They've been going to freaking, like, sports centers. Like, you know, where did they go to that? They went to that field, that soccer field or whatever. They've been going to freaking, like, who have they been going for? They've just been going for after hard-working people who haven't been committing crimes at all. And then they want to come up and say, oh, well, you know, this is... Listen to this shit.
Enforcement officers, and the fact that the Democrats want to hand on a silver platter intelligence about our ICE enforcement officers, and information tells you everything you need to know. But I do want to mention that marijuana facility raid, and that tells you everything about Gavin Newsom. The fact that he continues to vilify and demonize and attack our
that does not tell you everything. It tells about everything you guys want to hear. They cherry pick on what they want, and they put on Fox News. And they say, this is what Newsman, this is how negative and how awful Newsman is. You know?
And found that there were 10 children at that marijuana facility likely being exploited, potentially even being trafficked. Because
okay, so now, all right.
8 of them were unaccompanied. We're trying to figure out how they got there. Were they smuggled? Were they human trafficked? And the fact that Gavin Newsom is trying to obstruct that is disgusting.
Now, if ICE can focus on things like this, where people are being exploited and trafficked. I hear about all this trafficking. I hear about all this stuff and this and that. But so far, ICE hasn't been doing that. Why do you see them abducting children? Sorry, let me say that over. Why do we see ICE taking innocent, like, here's the thing. They're not innocent because they're illegal. Okay, granted, but they're illegal. But then again, you see them working hard. But then again, you guys are talking about how you guys are going to take people that are bad. And they haven't. So far, they haven't been showing any of that. Why? Because they want to meet a quota. Because they want to make money. That's all it is. Their counter argument is like, well, if you're here illegal, you're a criminal. No. If they're a part of the immigration process, if they have some sort of legal status, they still get taken away no matter what. No matter how you put it, no matter what, they're always gonna. I 100%. This is just ethnic cleansing. You know, if you want people on your side, start arresting the frickin' bad people first. You know what I mean? Start really making a difference, because it's irrelevant what you're doing. You're just taking away people who just come out here for better lives. You just abduct people who want to go to work, want to make a better life for themselves and their children, regular hardworking people, and you're just making it worse. I feel like taking away those people is not good for our economy. Taking away those people is not good for the morale of our country. It's just made it even worse. Start going after the hardcore criminals like you guys said you guys are, but you're not. So far, what you've shown us is just disgusting behavior, you know, lack of a better term. If they could find kids being exploited and save those kids, then okay, then I'm like, you know what, I'll be up for that. But when you see this one guy, a paleta man, working hard out in the sun, oh, let's get this guy. Why? What are you going to get him for? Come on. All right, Fox.
Yeah, Tiana, jump in here.
We know that the Open Borders Brigade, they really care about the children when you can get these photo ops. But under Biden's open borders policy, they lost, Tricia, was it 250,000 children? And I know that a large part of that, his own labor secretary was warning that these kids might indeed, as we saw with this marijuana raid, might be working as illegal child slave labor. Is there any update on finding those children? And in what cases have you been tracking these kids might be working?
See, like, okay, I understand that there's things going on like that. And if that's the case, we need to shut that shit down. But I feel like they use this as an excuse. They use it as a scapegoat to be like, you see, we need to get this person because of this. And it's just like, okay, well then you're doing one thing, you're saying one thing but doing another, and they continue to do that. So this is why I call it rhetoric, because they tell you that we're going to go after these hardcore criminals, we're going to get drugs off the street, and we're going to do this. But then again, they're wasting their time and they're going after people at work sites, job sites, and people, that are working, that are farmers. So again, I repeated myself. I said that over again.
As illegal child slave labor. Is there any update on finding those children? And in what cases have you been tracking these kids being forced to work underage and in violation of labor law?
Let's see.
Tiana, you're absolutely right. Under the Biden administration, it was about 300,000 unaccompanied children who were lost in the system. I think it's an untold story.
300,000?
Widely. Undersecretary Noem and AJ.
Did you guys see that debate with Ben Shapiro and that other guy? And he was talking about, he's like, there's not 300,000. I guess they debunked that. I'm not sure, but it was a debate, and I guess Ben Shapiro lost the debate, and Ben Shapiro was talking about how there was 300,000 kids lost, and the guy told him, no, there was not 300,000. And then Ben Shapiro didn't even have an answer for it. But maybe I'll put in the link of my video. And yeah, I put that link down. So,
Jess, we are working diligently to find these children. So far, about 5,000 unaccompanied children have been found and reunited with a safe guardian or relative. But we're working hard to make sure that number is pumped up and we get these children to safety. It's so wrong what's happened, and it is our top priority, whether it be in LA, Chicago, New York, or otherwise, to make sure we are stopping any sort of exploitation of children.
Yeah, but then there's this, the Salvadoran national Kilmar Abrego Garcia.
Exploiting children, yeah. I'm not saying that's not happening. We should go after that. I think it's both sides vilifying each other. Fox News is illegal immigrants. They're illegal, therefore they're criminals. That's the vilifying that they're doing. We don't appreciate that shit. I don't appreciate that shit. The way we vilify Fox News, that's pretty much how we vilify, pretty sure how I explained it. What they're lying. They're spewing out lies. They're saying we're going to go after these people, but then again, they don't. And the way they do it too. And I'm pretty sure in the future, there's already lawsuits set in place. They're racial profiling. They're even abducting people who are just Mexican, and they arrest first and they ask questions later. I don't know what it is that being American, and to be honest with you, I find it sad that, when people are talking about what's American, what's pro-American, and what isn't, it's like, I don't know, that's very un-American. What's America? I thought American had values, now it seems to me that we lost that. We lost a lot of our values. All right, people.
Set to return to court today with his lawyers, a judge planning to grill ICE over where it plans to release Abrego Garcia when he leaves federal custody.
This is a guy. Wasn't this guy American
Then
citizen?
there's the anti-Israel activist Mahmoud Khalil bringing a $20 million suit against the Trump administration, claiming he was falsely imprisoned. He faced malicious prosecution, Trisha. What are the plans here?
I would
He's claiming. They say it like he's claiming like he wasn't. I don't know about that story. I don't.
to remind viewers who
I'm trying to be level-headed as much as I can. Fox News is the #1 network of for a reason. They give out news, but I mean they're pretty right on their politics. I'm trying to be, because Fox News does have a point in a sense where we do have to find these criminals that are doing horrific acts on exploiting children and trafficking and drug dealing and yeah, you know what, we go for those people, but stay away from the children and the family and the hardworking men that go. Stay away from these work sites, stay away from the farms, stay away from the paleta man, stay away from the people that come into this country and work hard. Why go for them? Say what you guys were supposed to go for. Go for the criminals, the hardcore criminals. Go after those guys.
Mohammed Khalil is. He was the ringleader of these Colombia protests, riots really, where they defaced buildings, they took them over, they harassed Jewish students, they were posting pro-Hamas propaganda. It is a privilege, not a right, to live and study in this country. And Khalil took it to another level where he started spouting and pushing anti-American.
I don't know much about this, so we're going to go ahead and exit that. I don't know much about that particular thing. I wasn't really going to talk about that. I just wanted to talk about Fox News, Anyways, people, thank you for tuning in. See you later. Go after the criminals. Leave the frickin' people who aren't criminals. And you know who that is. Alright? Thank you guys for tuning in.